Fishy, fishy, fishy!
What's going on, fishy friends? Alright, so let's take a quick little walk through the fish room, do an update, see what's up. Remino's cruising by in the Planted 55. It's the Epistogramma tank. So the last time I really talked about this tank was when the first spawn happened. There was a female that laid some eggs and I saw some free swimming fry. Those things didn't last too long. They were here a couple of days. There is another batch of fry right now. There's the female coming out for a peek to say hello. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the fry on camera. I could barely even see him in real life. But there she is back there guarding the clutch. I'm pretty sure they have hatched. I can't really tell for sure. Looks like the only male that's left in this tank is the father, that one real big male. I don't even see him right now. It's amazing how well that fish can camouflage himself, considering how brilliantly colored he is when he's out in the open. But the other male that I had been worried about, he seems to have kicked the bucket. So now there's just the breeding pair left, which is a good thing as far as the breeding pair, not so good for that other fish. These two still haven't spawned for me again. I don't know what's up. But I've been waiting quite a long time, just doing my frequent water changes, feeding heavily, high protein foods, beef heart, good high protein flakes, beef heart flake, blackworm flake, bloodworm flake, frozen blackworm, freeze-dried blackworms, and nothing is helping. So I'm not sure what else to try. The only other thing I can contemplate is switching to RO water and or potentially trying to age some of my tap water, which I've never done and I don't really have enough room for. The only reason I haven't tried that is because these fish were spawning for me consistently about a year ago. And every once in a while they show some activity like they might be ready to spawn again. That was a little shimmy. But I'm not seeing anything past that. So I don't know what to think about that. Over here, these guys are all doing real good. The angelfish up top. These guys are getting real big. I got them in this bare bottom tank. I feed them heavy, lots of freeze-dried blackworms. And they're doing very well. Four discus down here look good. These guys are also getting real big. That one in particular got quite large, especially compared to everybody else in this tank. He's definitely over 5.5, 6 inches now. All the 10 gallons are rolling along. Still haven't refilled this one. That was my cherry shrimp setup, and just haven't touched the tank in months because there's nothing in it. This one's still empty. Back here are those blue-eyed killies and a couple of celestial pearl danios. Can't even see the fish. They're back there somewhere. These Reminos are doing real good. I got these a couple of weeks back. Haven't really paid all too much attention to them. Kind of threw them in this tank just to let them grow out and honestly to keep this tank cycled. But these guys are big enough now that I can go add them to the Planet 55 back there, where there's already a school of 8 or 10 Reminos, so I wanted to add it to that school. Now what else? I got these two new red covers. They were. I had been facing some problems in this tank. I don't know if I'm able to post the video I took about that or not. I had been getting thousands and thousands of tiny little white worms everywhere over the bottom of the tank after any and every water change. And I don't know, it had me stumped for a little while. I had been squeezing out the filters and everything, and then I took one of the filters apart and there was just a giant glob of uneaten food, and that inside structure, that black tube that's inside of the sponge filters. Anybody who has one of these knows what that looks like. It's like a hollow tube basically with some slits in it, but there was just a big chunk of goo in there. So I think that had a lot to do with those tiny worms I was seeing, and somehow I think water change kind of forced them out of the filter. So now that seems to be taken care of. And here these two are pecking at the cone. Hopefully they're cleaning a spot and getting ready to lay eggs again. And then down here, I'm facing tons of issues. I don't know what's up. Down to 2 out of the 10 juveniles I got here. I just had noticed a little while ago today that one, if not both of those fish, was dashing around the tank like a madman. So now I'm afraid I got hit with whirling disease in here or something, which might be the only good explanation for having lost all of these fish. I wasn't thrilled with these fry. Well, not fry, I got them as very young juveniles. I wasn't thrilled with them from the get-go. I had gotten other young discus from the same breeder. As a matter of fact, they're the 4 I showed you earlier. These 4 over here. These 4 came from the same breeder a long time ago, and I was very happy with the shape of these fish and the quality of these fish from the time that they were very young until now that I've grown them out to this shape and size. However, these other juvies over here, I was just never quite happy with their shape and how they were looking and how they were acting from the beginning. And slowly but surely I seem to have lost almost everyone except for these 2. So I don't know what to say about that anymore. Then we got the 5 new German blue rams that I bought down here. Now, if anybody follows along with my videos and was watching a couple of weeks ago, I had placed an order with a well-known breeder named Unite. I believe his website is GermanBlueRams.com, and Y-U-N-I-T-E, Unite. That's his name on eBay and Aquabid and various other places, and he's become quite a reputable source for German blue rams. Now, I had asked for specifically an order containing only females. He said he can only sell me 5, and it was a premium price to pay for those 5 compared to the price of other fish he sold on his site. Matter of fact, I could have bought 4 breeding pairs from him for less than I spent for the 5 confirmed females. And the only reason I wanted 5 females is that over there in that tank, I had purchased a bunch of German blue rams from a local breeder, a friend of mine locally, and I tried to pick out as many females as I could, but the fish were just a little too young to sex, and it looks like I have way more males than I do females in that tank. So that's why I specifically wanted 5 females over here. I've had these fish for a week or 2. I think on the 2nd day after I had received them, I contacted the seller and said to him, look, you know, how confident are you at sexing these fish? I think I see at least 1 male in the batch, if not more. He kind of poo-pooed my worries for a couple of days here and there. And then eventually I saw 2 of these guys pair off. So, you know, I contacted him again. He asked me to send him a picture. In the end, he eventually agreed that there is definitely 1 male in this tank. That's him right there. He owned up to the mistake, and he refunded a couple of bucks to make up for the fact that I didn't get what I asked for. So I thought that was quite stand-up of him. I would not hesitate to do business with him again based on that. And I got some real beautiful, healthy fish from him. Whether or not they're females or males, they're great-looking fish. Finding good German blue rams is tough, and this guy is definitely living up to his reputation as far as the quality of the stock. And it looks like I got a pair forming out of what he sent me, so that's not such a bad deal, I suppose. And these other rams are also doing pretty well. I got 8 over here in this tank. I'm not exactly sure of the count on the males to females. There's a male. There's a female. I'm not going to go through the whole thing right now, but there's definitely more males than females over here, which was not my intent. I was really hoping to have a ratio skewed in favor of females, so that way no particular female would get beat up on by the rest of the males. So hopefully we'll get at least 1, if not 2 pairs of rams going out of all these different ones. Hopefully these 2 will get back into their spawning behaviors now that the tank is back into being in pristine condition. And what else we got going on here? I moved the brine shrimp hatchery over onto this shelf. A couple of people had wisely pointed out to me that it was not the greatest idea to leave that thing over there, simply because this is salt water and there's inevitably going to be some spray coming out of the top of that, and it could cause some rust on any surface that it's sitting. So I got it over here, over on the shelves on some cardboard, you know, which is on top of some plywood, so I'm not too concerned about anything getting wet or damaged over here. The thermometer is reading quite high. It did get quite warm over here, and I'm at about 22 hours after first setting this thing up, and as of right now it does not look like I have any that have hatched. So I might have to find a different source for buying the eggs, or I might have to adjust how I'm setting this thing up, or I might just have to give it a little more time. It could take up to 36 hours from all my research, and I hope 84 degrees isn't too hot. I think ideally I want it down at 80 or 82 max. Anyway guys, this video's getting long-winded here, so let me get rolling. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Follow Rich's Fishes on Instagram. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so, and I'll talk to you guys later.